It's Chris. We're at Sports and Spokes. We're in Phoenix, Arizona at SPOFIT with Nick Scott. We haven't talked to him since 2010. As a matter of fact, he was the web guy's first interview. So Nick, how you been since 2010?
I mean, I've been good. It's like everything's been taken off because I'm involved with wheelchair bodybuilding, wheelchair ballroom dancing, my speaking, and just everything's simultaneously just like taken off because it's really about the bigger vision of what I'm trying to achieve with the wheelchair division. Because since then, I actually made wheelchair bodybuilding into a professional sport. Now, like, in the disabled community, everybody's thinking about like, the Paralympics, but that's actually amateur. And there's no professional, sport for the disabled community, but now there is in wheelchair bodybuilding. It took me 5.5 years to actually make happen within the IFBB, which is the same status as Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now these athletes can actually be labeled as a professional at the same rankings as Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that's the ultimate goal, is to have the wheelchair division at the Olympia stage, the same stage that Arnold Schwarzenegger competed like many years ago. But it's still in the process. Right now there's only one show, and last weekend I was actually in Canada at Toronto, the Toronto Pro Super Show, and I actually was the featured guest poser both Friday and Saturday night, because it was the merge for 2014 in Toronto that we're going to have the second IFBB Pro Wheelchair Division. To make it international, to take this thing to the next level, I need to have about 4 to 5 pro shows and more wheelchair bodybuilders in order to make this happen, to be taken across the world, and to show the world that, to inspire, to motivate them. Because it's not about bodybuilding or wheelchair dancing, but I want to show others that anything is possible. That's really the whole point. People just get involved with things, and like, a lot of people are like depressed and like, why me and this stuff. And I was at that point, I got depressed. But the same thing would happen with the wheelchair ballroom dancer. Once I got over that and I got involved with powerlifting, and then I got involved with wheelchair bodybuilding, and after so many years I got picked up with companies, with bodybuilding.com, and through that I was actually working expos, and that's how I met my dance partner, because it was like a water ripple effect. And when I met her, it's like it was a transition with emails going back and forth. But at the time, she was living in Philadelphia and I lived in Kansas. So I actually flew to her to take ballroom dance lessons back in May of 2009. And I was hooked. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I'm proud. I'm proud to be a ballroom dancer because it's more elegant and it's really about telling the story. And it's like me and my dance partner were like best friends. So it's really, it's amazing. We've been dancing for over 4 years. But that's what happened is, I wondered, it's like, well, people are gonna think about me. I caught in that like phase of mine. But then I realized it wasn't about me, it's for a bigger vision, and that's how I just kept doing it. And I truly fell in love with ballroom dance, so I'm proud. In certain shows, it's about just weight division. At the smaller shows, it's one class, wheelchair. It doesn't matter if what level you are and stuff like that. That's why we need more wheelchair athletes. But right, at certain shows, it's broken down to like 4 weight classes or 3, just depending on that. And at the professional level, it doesn't even matter, because in the professional sports, in bodybuilding or whatever, there's no weight division. It goes one class. You're pro, you're the best, and it's about bringing the physique. But as an amateur, when you go to get your pro card, that's when it's broken out of weight division. And it can be in different, levels of injuries and stuff, but that's gonna take time because we need more wheelchair athletes in the sport. It's not that it can't happen, it's that it's just that some of these athletes will step up to the plate and not be afraid. And you know what? It's an amazing journey. Right now, there's 16 IFBB Pro wheelchair bodybuilders in the world. I got a 17th one in the process that's from Turkey. They compete on a regular basis between 70 to 90 around the world. Now, I got about 1,500 on my database, but it's just one of those things like, well, is it time for me to compete? I'm not ready. Well, you're always gonna feel like that. You just gotta, suck it up and do it and overcome that fear of like, what's people gonna think of me? In reality, like, in some of these other sports, like, the fans don't go that crazy. When wheelchair bodybuilding, the fans go nuts, and they see these athletes as true warriors of the sport. And it's not like, oh my God, look at that person in a wheelchair. Like, everybody's like, oh my God, if they can do it, I can do it too. And everybody even the fans and everybody that's involved, the wheelchair division is highly respected, highly thought of. And you'll see things on like Facebook more and more a month, and it's heard around the world. But again, you need more people involved. Yeah, like my accident was on August of '98. It was August 17th of '98. Almost in the wheelchair for 15 years. My left front tire blew out. I was ejected from the driver's side window. My own car hit me in the back. It broke my back and damaged my spine at T12L1. And the doctors diagnosed me as paraplegic, and they told me I would never walk again. I got depressed. My weight went up to 300 pounds, and I asked the Lord, why me? Why did this happen to me? I thought, there's so many bad people in this world. Why did this happen to me? And I never got my answer, but I realized, what's the one thing you gain from losing everything? And it's a perspective. Because I realized laying in that hospital bed at the time, wanting and wishing that the wreck would have taken my life, that I realized it didn't matter if my glass was half empty or half full. I was just grateful that I had a glass. And it's like I realized I was given a gift, and that gift was a second chance at life. So instead of looking at what I couldn't do anymore, I focused on what I could do. And through the whole process, it gave me a different perspective. Will I walk again? I still do rehab to this day, and I push myself to the limit. Almost 15 years doing rehab to try to walk again, but it's not my time yet. I believe the Lord has a bigger meaning for me, and I'm going to push it to beyond. It's like, here I am in Arizona. I was just in Canada, then Idaho, and now it's like I travel all the time, but I still make time to go work out and bring my diet and all this stuff. And that's exactly it, and it's the confidence. It doesn't matter what it is, but you go after and you get it, and you can achieve it. And if you talk with passion and desire and confidence, people will listen. And that's when people will believe you. A lot of people's like, I don't have time, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, that's just crap, because it's just an excuse. Because if you really wanted it, you'll make time, because it's a priority. It's like, that's the simplest way to do it. And an excuse is a well-planned lie. If you can convince yourself you can't do it, you're just telling yourself what you want to hear, and then you won't do it. It makes sense to you, but in reality, you're just making an excuse. So here we are in Arizona, Phoenix, doing an appearance. Morph Wheels. Again, I'm here with Morph, and they brought me out here, and it's a true honor to be able to come out here and demo, the first ever wheel that folds in half. And this facility is amazing. And I've been around the world to many different gyms and stuff, but this was the only gym that's like it's the most handicap accessible full gym. Like, so, I mean, this is amazing. They got a full gym behind us that's accessible. It's really like. It's nice to see, actually. I mean, I'm so used to going to gyms and stuff that are not handicap accessible, and I just make things work. But this is really convenient for people here in Phoenix, Arizona. I teamed up with Sports and Spokes to do fitness tips and nutrition tips. I'm actually a certified fitness consultant as well as a specialist in performance nutrition, and I'm in the process of getting about 6 other certifications, including getting my master certification. Because in order to be the best, you got to know your body inside and out. You got to know what to take and how much to take, when to take, and eat. Same thing like that. How much to eat, what do you eat, and and all those fine details make a huge difference. In reality, it's like we can all be amazing sheep because it's a choice what we stick in our mouth. We choose. It's a choice. We choose, it's very simple. The biggest thing for training and stuff, it's about learning proper form and stuff like that. And as simple as like when people do bicep curls, it's like, I don't know if you can see me in the picture, is a lot of people will, whenever they do bicep curls and stuff, they'll just kind of like go like here, but in reality they need to bring their palms up completely because it'll contract the inside of the head of the bicep. You got the medial head of the bicep brachii and the lateral head of the bicep brachii. There's 2 heads to the muscle itself, and the tricep has 3 heads, as well as the brachialis, which is in between the 2 muscles. So if you learn how to just bring the palms up completely versus halving it, because this is actually a hammer curl like this, which works the brachialis. We'll get technical, but it's just basically turn it up and you contract more of the bicep head. You just keep your elbows to your side and exhale coming up, inhale coming down, and you get more contraction in the biceps. So for you guys, you can do curls for girls, baby. Let's do it. You ready? Let's do this, baby. Woo! We're here. It's SPOKES, baby.